Hello, my name is Robin. I am 42 years old and live in Fresno, California. I was diagnosed with a bladder disease, interstitial cystitis, in 2012. I also suffer fibromyalgia. I am in chronic pain daily. For those of you who do not know what interstitial cystitis is, imagine if you had an open wound on your arm and you poured salt or lemon juice in it. It would burn like fire. Well, interstitial cystitis, or IC sufferers, we have no lining in our bladder. It's gone. So it's like an open wound. So anything we put in our mouth affects us. But not only that, activity, stress, movement, like bowel movements, everything affects this disease. To those of you who probably still can't understand, another way of looking at it is if you've ever had a bladder infection, or you've been on a long road trip and you feel like you've got to pee and there's no place to stop. That pain when you are to the point where you're going to burst and it hurts so bad you don't know if you can even urinate. You sit in the stall for a few minutes and it's so painful when you first go, and then you have that relief when you finally get to go. With IC, you don't get the relief. And it's very emotionally difficult to deal with something like that on a daily basis. Our hormones, can set this off. Intercourse can set this off. It's probably the worst thing I've ever experienced in my life. I've had childbirth. My son was 10 pounds, 5 ounces, and nothing has compared to the pain of IC. And I delivered my son naturally with no pain medicine. I hope that this video can bring some kind of awareness. There is a wonderful woman by the name of Lisa who is compiling a video and making it so that the IC is more known. Everybody that I mentioned this to, they have no idea and have never heard of anything like it. So it is still a mystery to so many people. And we have to raise awareness. We have to find a cure. Interstitial cystitis has one of the highest suicide rates out there. I'm in these groups and I see these women who are struggling to just keep their families together, and it's heartbreaking. I beg any doctor who has a patient that suffers from IC to join the Interstitial Cystitis Warriors or Interstitial Cystitis groups on Facebook. Read what these women are experiencing on a day-to-day basis. Help us get the medications that we need. Help us get awareness. Help us so that, we can get disability, because it's an invisible illness. We walk into a courtroom, when we appeal disability, they see nothing wrong with us because it is invisible. And, people are understanding about cancer because it's fatal. But they don't understand that you can be in severe chronic pain, just as bad as cancer, but it never goes away. And you're not ever going to come to an end until you die. And it's hopeless. It's a very hopeless disease. And we have to find other ways of making ourselves happy. We have to look at things in a more optimistic view, but it's difficult. It affects our relationships. It affects our children. It affects our families. It just affects us on, I guess, how would you say? It would affect us deep down into our soul. We've lost all ability to cope in the outside world. And it breaks my heart, not just for me, because I'm lucky. I'm able to find things to sometimes alleviate the pain, but there's others who have, had Botox injections and had interstim implants. Excuse me if I said that wrong. I've even met a woman who had her bladder removed and has an artificial bladder that she drains through her side. And, these are the kind of things that we have to look forward to. When you're at 42 years old and at the peak of your life, you finally, financially stable and ready, your children are grown and you want to see the world, and you're bedridden, and you have to rely on people to help take care of you. I love all of you women and men who are suffering this disease. And this is only something that we can share and understand because we go through it. And I just hope that all of you out there taking the time to listen to this, if you ever meet somebody that has IC, tell them that they are strong. And tell them that they're going to be just fine. Because sometimes that's all they want to hear. Is that their presence is just a blessing. Because sometimes that's all you'll get from us. Is just our physical presence. We may not be there mentally. But acknowledge us.